Listen to the Vibes, hosted by Coyote Night. Listen in for some positivity and good times. The views and opinions of our guests may not necessarily reflect those of the host or the Vibes broadcast network. Listener discretion is advised.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Listen to the Vibes. Today I have, what is it? ST Rappaport?
ST Rappaport, yeah, like the letters SMT, just like that.
Okay, what does S&T stand for?
ST really is from ST, like ESTY or ESTE, and I just write it for short.
Oh,
ST.
okay, awesome. And you're a photographer?
Relationship photographer, yeah.
Okay.
Photographer for couples.
Oh, awesome. So you do weddings?
Not weddings, actually. I do more when couples just want pictures of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
No kids, no family sort of style. Portraits, very full of emotion, expressing exactly what they want, the love and passion that they have for each other sort of style. So sometimes I will do like engagement pictures, or if they want more pictures after the wedding, but mostly it's just couples who just want pictures. Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I'm an officiant, so I do weddings all the time, and that would be awesome. You could come to Texas and take pictures.
I'd love that. Love to travel, so Texas be awesome.
Oh yeah, especially the Austin area. It's beautiful around here. But anyway, you were telling me that you do something else?
Yeah, I do also what's called Creative Journal Expressive Arts,
Mm-hmm.
which is a really long name for the method, but it basically explains what it is. It's journaling and art with the non-dominant hand. So what happens is you connect both sides of the brain and make new neuron connections and accessing parts of the brain that you've never accessed before, so you could go past blockages and get to really what you want, solve your problems, and get to what you really have in you. The way it works is we all know that the right side of the brain and the left side of the brain are in charge of the opposite sides of the body,
Mm-hmm.
right? The right side of the brain is in charge of the left side of the body, and left side of the brain in charge of the right side of the body. Now, the left side of the brain is in charge of all the logical stuff like math, reading, writing, etc. And the right side of the brain is all the musical stuff and creative stuff and arts and stuff like that, and also the emotions. So when someone is writing with their left hand, because most people are righties, when you're writing with your left hand and you're accessing and you're using your right side of your brain,
Mm-hmm.
you have a much easier time accessing your emotions because it doesn't have to go through all the parts. You go straight to the emotional part of your brain. It works also for lefties who, when they use their right hand, it works the right brain because you're making new neuron connections, but that's basically the way it works.
Okay, like I'm an artist, and I like to draw, I like to paint, but quite honestly, the inspiration has just not been there in months, and I feel like I'm kind of stuck. I don't feel like I'm growing, so I just kind of put it away. And mind you, I've been doing art since I was probably 5 years old, but for some reason lately, I just haven't really felt it. And so you could help with things like that.
Sure. So we help with, it could be anything like emotional trauma and stuff like that. But for that, really what I would tell you to do is start even just scribbling with your non-dominant hand. That is the hand you don't usually write with. Just scribble with it, paint with it. Do more stuff with your non-dominant hand, and you're going to access the creative part that's been shut down. So doing a lot of logical stuff, working on stuff, and you have to use more of your left brain. So you end up opening up your right brain more.
Okay. Yeah, I've never even thought about that. Of course, I mean, you study this stuff. I'm just
It's
not
really
even.
weird and it's really awkward in the beginning. Your lines come out obviously messier and it's a mess and stuff like that. When we do the real work, then it's not really the art that we're trying to do, it's the process of it. but it will get your creative juices flowing, and you'll never know what comes out.
Okay, now when it comes to things like anxiety, depression, those emotions, you help with that as well, huh?
Yeah, so I am not a certified therapist or licensed social worker or anything of that sort in any way. So when I do get a client that needs extreme help, then I have therapists that I send them to. But it does work a lot with any sort of problem that we have. We have a basic, like the most basic exercise I could say to anyone who wants to start right now. You have a problem, you're not sure if you should leave your job, you don't know what to do, you're stuck at home bored, whatever it is with your non-dominant hand, you draw a picture of the situation, of what it looks like, and then you ask questions to the picture. Now, every time you ask questions, you're going to be writing with your two hands. The questions are with your dominant hand because you're thinking, the logical part, and you're going to answer without thinking. No thought. Literally, you just write what comes out with your non-dominant hand, the answers. Now, there are four basic questions that you ask the picture, and you could always continue with the conversation afterwards. But it goes, who are you? Talking to the picture. How do you feel? Why do you feel this way? And what could I do to help you? And many times you cut through everything else that's in your way and get to the real deep stuff that you really know, but you don't really know, but it's really in you, and you get the answer out there. Yeah.
Okay, because see, I've been on all kinds of medications for, I guess, the last 13 years or so, and I'm trying to find alternative methods because I'm sick of taking all the anxiety medication, depression medication, blah 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 blah. And I detoxed myself from it. Probably not the smartest idea in the world, but I just felt like I needed to, and I went through the whole withdrawals from it and everything, and I know I'm trying my best to control my emotions, but I do find myself getting angry over stupid things and just feeling down for no reason whatsoever. So this method would help with that.
Yeah, exactly. Next time you're feeling angry or down or just not feeling yourself, or even also happy is also like any emotion it could be, but especially helpful when you're not feeling good, then you could start with that simple exercise. It's really easy. Do it with two colored markers, really act like a little kid, forget about everything else, lots of unlined paper sort of thing, and just draw out the situation why you're getting a picture of what you're so angry, and even just have the picture talk to you if you don't want to dialogue back and forth with your non-dominant hand. Whenever the picture's talking, or it's really your subconscious or the inner parts of you talking, then you use your non-dominant hand. So, yeah.
Wow. So what got you interested in doing that?
So actually, I had a sibling who did this quite a few years back, who's going through a really hard time in school, and he went to somebody to do it. And I found it really interesting, but I was really young then and I didn't like think about it much. And then I was thinking, I had someone came to my house for the weekend who works in this, and we were just talking about it, and I got really curious in it. At that time, I was in a job. I was doing photography on the side, but I was also in a job that I really didn't like, and I wanted to do something else. So I decided to, before I just go to training in California for it, or the whole process of everything about it, I'm gonna first go to her for a bit. So I went to her for quite a few sessions and worked through some of my own personal things, different relationships and the job and just how my whole life went. And I felt such a big difference. It was extremely emotional. If you do it right, it's a really emotional process. I will stop and say that your body only will give you information that you could handle at that time. So maybe you'll start doing this work and you'll feel like you're getting nowhere. You're just asking, you're not getting any answers. Wait a few days, do it the next day, next week, or something out another time, and your body, when it feels ready, will give you your right answers. So every time you do the exercises, you come up with new things, and That's what happened. So I went to her, and then I saw what it did, and I went to California afterwards to for my training. Yeah.
Okay, so where do you go to get this training?
So there's it's this method was created by Dr. Lucia Capicchioni, who lives in California. She created this method through when she was really sick, and she healed herself completely from it by doing it like this. She, she just started journaling with her non-dominant hand, and she healed herself. So she gives the training for that. It's a year program. You go first for a week to California, then you have a year of training in it, like conference calls, giving workshops, working with clients, and then you go back for another year. I actually am currently in the process, another week, sorry. I'm in the process now. I'm not completely certified yet, but certified enough that I could start working, not certified, but trained enough that could start working with people.
Hmm.
So I've been doing that the past few months. And actually, her assistant lives in Austin, Texas. Also, I think it's in Austin, in Texas somewhere. Marsha Nelson,
Hmm.
who also does fantastic work. She supervises me and does great stuff. Yeah.
They need to come up with a smaller name because I couldn't repeat what you told me a while ago.
It's not a name. It's like a description of what it is. I think that's like the part I really don't like about it. What do you do? CJEA? Not too long for me. But I didn't make it up, so
So this helps you both emotionally and physically?
yeah, you could do it. Let's say someone has a pain in their body, a back pain, their stomach hurts, whatever it is. What you do is same thing. You draw with your non-dominant hand a outline of your body, and then you color in all the parts that are hurting you. And again, you ask the same four questions with two hands, speaking to the part of the body. Who, who or what are you? I am your back pain, or whatever your answer comes out. Why do you feel? How do you feel? Why do you feel this way? And what could I do to help you? And it's amazing. Results incredible. Like, get out of this relationship. Sometimes it'll be something just like you need to take a rest, but sometimes it'll be quit your job. This person's being too mean to you. You're being codependent, or whatever else it is. Yeah.
See, that's amazing to me. But we're into like the crystals and holistic medicine, things like that, and there's going to be people out there that's going to say, okay, look, I know about all these healers and things like that, and it's a bunch of malarkey and snake charmer oil or something. So I mean, what do you tell those kind of people?
So I tell people to try. If you don't like it, you do it. It's also really, really much, very much depends not on me. When I work with a client, it's not like a therapist where they're coming to ask me questions and I'm giving them answers.
Mm-hmm.
The work is all within yourself. You could do it by yourself. If you have a instructor or facilitator, it'll be easier for you to go through it. But really, you're doing the work yourself. So I say try it. Do what you want. If it works for you, awesome. If it doesn't, I don't think there's a one thing that fits everything sort of style.
Yeah, I mean, to each his own, as they say. What works well for my wife doesn't exactly work well for me. She practices Wicca and that kind of thing, and I support her in that. It just doesn't fit me. Um, and I live with chronic pain. I have arthritis really bad. In fact, I had to quit working about a year ago because I was constantly going to the pain therapists and all that kind of stuff, and had the injections in my back. I've had the nerves burned. That lasted all of about 2 weeks. It's supposed to last months, and it only lasted 2 weeks. But I mean, I get to the point where even 10 minutes of walking is excruciating. But it's arthritis. I mean, would I be able to deal with arthritis with this?
For sure, for sure. You could try it. It's not going to happen overnight. And like I said, your body will only give you answers that you need when you're ready for it. But for sure, try it. and do it a few times. And also, the beginning, it's almost painful to do it in the beginning because you're not used to writing with your non-dominant hand. Your muscles hurt. It feels really awkward, but the more you do it and the more insights you get from it, the more you want to do it. Like now, if I'm upset about something, I'm angry, I'm not sure what to do about something, the first thing I do is go and journal. I know that I'll get something out of it. So I love it. I really want to do it. But in the beginning, it's hard.
Oh, I can imagine. But I mean, also you got to consider my discs are out of place. I've got to have a fusion. I've already had the fusion done in my neck, but I live with pain every day, and it's very tiring to say the least.
Yeah, that is. So try it. Let me know how it goes.
I'm going to have to. I've got a little helper wanting to help. So, sorry, dear, you cannot be on air. So you do your own podcast as well.
Yeah, I do a podcast on relationships because I do relationship for talk. I do everything with relationships, as in even this creative journal expressive arts thing, I work mostly with couples to help them improve their relationships, which really starts with improving yourself, but it goes together. So on the podcast, we just speak about making relationships extraordinary and how either professionals and everyday people, what they do to make the relationships extraordinary. And now I'm also in the process of creating another program called Genius Relationships, a course to do online. It actually came about right before Corona started. We're in the process, almost finished, hoping people will have it. It's like now people who are stuck in quarantine with their spouses need it most, so we're rushing it to make sure that as soon as it comes out, we also got more experts to share how people could make their relationships extraordinary.
Yeah. Have you seen the meme where it says after the quarantine, and you see the big old line going all the way down the road, everybody walking into the courthouse, and has a sign out that says divorce court?
Yeah. So we hope and try not for that, for healthy, extraordinary, amazing relationships. I don't think perfect, but we'll strive to be better. Yeah, so that sort of concept.
I kind of have to say that our relationship has been a lot better since the quarantine because we are spending quality time together. I mean, my wife still works. She does her work from home, and she's always on the computer. And of course, I'm always doing stuff for our podcast network and editing videos, yada yada yada. But then there's that point in the day we say, okay, that's it. No more work. This is where we're going to spend time together. And
yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
all I
It's
said
worked
in the
for us.
exactly in the beginning. If your relationship is good, your relationship's just going to get better. If it's bad, it's just going to get worse.
I figure if she can put up with me, she can put up with anybody. So you
Good wife.
Oh yeah, she is. She's too good for me, but I'm the lucky guy. So you deal with people in the corporate world. I guess with the stress of those kind of jobs and the hours they put in. I mean, how do people in that part of life, how are they able to get to where they need to be in relationships?
So I think that first and foremost, you have to understand yourself
Mm-hmm.
and then be able to understand your partner. So obviously, if you're really busy with your job, if you want an amazing relationship, you can't just go and forget about it. Doesn't mean you have to go on a date night every single night, but you have to understand yourself, what you need to be able to have an amazing relationship and what your spouse needs to be able to have an amazing relationship, and work out something that works for both of you.
So there's people out there that are so self-absorbed and so into their job that I guess they really don't care if they have a relationship anymore. I mean, what do you do when one spouse wants to make things work and the other one doesn't?
Yeah, sometimes people just escape it, to their job. If one works and one doesn't, always start with yourself. If you're working on yourself, you're doing what you could to make the relationship better, which starts with working on yourself and then working on what you could do for your partner's going to catch on at some point, unless it's an unhealthy relationship. We're not talking about like abusive relationships here,
Right, right.
but they're gonna, all of a sudden you're gonna be a different person. They're gonna want to spend more time with you. They're gonna want to hear about your day, what you did, what you've been doing, and you'll slowly start seeing changes in them. And then you'll be able to open up and have discussions with them of what you could do together to make the relationship better.
Um, Now, surely you don't do this all the time. What do you like to enjoy when you're not doing all the photography and relationship therapy and all that kind of stuff?
So, first of all, I love my job, just saying, because I love people and understanding people. So I never feel like I need a vacation now, right now, sort of thing. What I did in my old job, not now. But what I do love to do, I love to travel.
Oh yeah.
Travel the world. Now we're stuck, and it's really hard for me not even knowing when I'll be able to go somewhere. But my last trip, I've been 2 weeks, went to Spain, Portugal, Morocco,
Ooh.
Norway, all in 2 weeks, and it's amazing. Culture, the way people react, going from summer to winter in such a short amount of time, like different weather. It wasn't really summer, but more hot weathers. Seeing nature, everything. I love it. Every aspect of it.
Oh, I hear you.
Yeah.
Norway is one of those that's on my bucket list. I've got to go to Norway. I just
It's
that,
gorgeous.
that whole culture, you know.
Yeah.
Do they still
Yeah.
like hold to the whole Viking traditions and things over there?
Yeah. They're all into their nature, their green, their everything of Norway style. I spent a week out of my 2 weeks there.
Oh,
Yeah, seeing the northern lights. Actually got really lucky with that because they said the whole week there was really cloudy and there's no chance of seeing the northern lights. One day we had booked for one day, and they even offered us a refund before we started because they said it's a really big possibility we're not going to be able to see it. But come all the way to Norway, you're not going to see the northern lights. And on our way, the driver saw lights, like literally on the way. We stopped on the road, side of the road. It was quite dangerous, like on top of snow, middle of nowhere, just to go and see that. That lasted 10 minutes, and then we would continue to drive to this spot where they usually see it, and there was just nothing there, so we got lucky.
oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, the whole thing about nature, to me, that's where I get grounded and kind of reset, and that love of nature between me and my wife seems to draw us even closer. And so, like, we have a river and a lake not too far from here. You can go and put your feet in the water and just enjoy it. It's so crystal clear, and you have deer running all over the place, you know, every kind of bird you can imagine. Heck, I just like sitting and watching out the back porch all the birds and squirrels that come, and we make sure they've got seed and all that kind of stuff. And just something about nature. I don't know
Yeah,
what it is.
right? Just like sit there and brings life back.
The funniest thing is we have a big sliding glass door, and we put a lot of seed and stuff close to that door because we like to see the squirrels get real close. And we have cats, and they go to that back door and they just sit there and they stare. And the squirrels know that the cats can't get out there. And there's one in particular that'll go up and put its paws right on the glass and look in, and the cats come running up at it, doesn't even flinch. It's like, you ain't getting me. It's so funny.
Animals, I love it. I love it. Have their personality of their own.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning when they decide they want to play. Yeah. Do you have animals yourself?
No, but
No?
I do hope one day to own a horse ranch or something like that. Mix that together with photography,
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Maybe down in
Definitely.
Texas.
Hey, there's plenty of space around here. I mean, you see longhorns and all kinds of cattle and horses, and just about any kind of critter you can think of is out and around this area. So,
We'll get there one day, yeah.
So do you want a cat? Because I'll send you one.
Not right now. Not my priority. I mean, I love animals, but to take care of them the whole time, I don't know if I'll have the patience for it. My patience isn't that long, so
Now, see, that's the wrong attitude when you're in what you do. You got to have patience.
I try. When I do something that I love, then I have all the patience in the world. Like talking to you and talking to people can go on forever, but like cleaning up after, don't know, not so much for me.
So we were talking before we went on air, and you said you're in New Jersey.
Hmm.
And you still live in New Jersey then, huh?
I do. Right near the beach, 20 minutes away. So can't wait for the beaches to open again and just sit on the beach. Do photo shoots on the beach, my favorite place.
I can only
Yeah.
imagine. I can only imagine.
Sunset. Actually, here sunset isn't so much. It's more sunsets on the by your side. It's more the sunrise, but not that many times people want to get up so early in the morning for that because in the summer it's really early. When you could go to the beach early, it's really early. Like in the winter when it's later, then it's cold. So, but we'll get to that soon.
Yeah, I didn't see real snow until I got up around New York and New Jersey. I mean, we've had snow here in Texas, but it's nothing compared to what y'all have. I think it snowed 4 inches that first night I was there. It's like, oh, this is snow. This
Yeah.
is awesome.
Snow, it's stunning when it's like right when it falls and it's all white, or if it snowed overnight and early morning. I'm a very early riser, so I love waking up and just seeing everything covered in white. But as soon as the day goes on and there's black everywhere and we don't have as much land as by you, so things are closer together and footprints and car marks, then it's just a big mess. But it's really pretty when it comes down. Photo shoots in the snow are stunning.
You know, I noticed that the further we got into Jersey, the prettier and prettier it got. It's like when you first come in, you're like, this is more like an extended version of New York. And then you get into real New Jersey. I'm like, wow, I didn't expect this.
Yeah, that is what it is. They extend New York's too overflowing, so it extends into New Jersey, and then, yeah, it's really pretty. Garden State for a reason.
And no, yeah, exactly. Exactly. You want to tell us how to find you on social media? And you have YouTube?
I have a YouTube. I post a lot on Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn, just about relationships and podcasting and all things in general. Life Picks Relationships, Life Picks Photography. And you could check out the podcast on Life Picks Relationships on all major platforms. Life Picks, Life Picks Relationships on all major platforms. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I get tired of trying to put down all of the places that our podcasts go to because we use Buzzsprout as kind of our launching pad. So it shoots out to Spotify and iHeartRadio and Pandora and Stitcher and, here's, 20, 30 different ones. I'm like, okay, I'll just say go to Buzzsprout or go to YouTube.
All major platforms, whatever that is, or Google it, it will come up.
All right, so you're on Facebook and you're on Instagram and you're on Twitter?
On TikTok.
TikTok?
I know that's for kids, but there's more than just kids than what people think. A lot of, usually about 3 times a day, just 10 seconds, 15 seconds relationship tip of what to do for the day. So for those of you who need the boost right now or just want something else, it's perfect for that if you are on TikTok. And also on LinkedIn, you can find me, ST Rappaport. And yeah, or you could contact me at lifepicks.as.me if you want to call me and find out more about what I do.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it.
This was actually very informative. I was very surprised at how much I need to learn.
Always more to learn. The more you learn, the more you know you don't know anything. Not anything. There's so much more to know. Yeah.
Well, like I said, we've been into the crystals and the what is it? Like meditation and things like that, and they help. Don't get me wrong, they help. but I just feel like it's not helping me the way I need to be, and now you've given me something else to try. So if this doesn't work, I'll just come hunt you down then.
If it does, I want to know how it works.
Well, thank you for putting up with me.
Awesome. Thank you.
And I appreciate it very, very much. And thank y'all for joining, and catch us on the next show.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Listen to the Vibes. You can catch us on Buzzsprout or wherever you listen to your favourite podcasts, and on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook at The Vibes Broadcast Network and on Instagram at The Vibes Broadcast.